Alrighty, heathens, we're back at it today with a J-Bow, and we are gonna do the assembly of the 727 big block torque flight.
That's right, Blake. We'll be cleaning parts and assembling them in sub-assemblies, and then sub-assembling those sub-assemblies into our main assembly.
So what I did was, I didn't bore you with cleaning the case, but the case has been ran through the parts cleaner and scrubbed, and then took it outside and used
Carb cleaner, brake cleaner, whatever.
carb cleaner, 3 cans of it, and got all the passages sprayed out. Every damn thing in here got hit with carb cleaner and then hit with air and blown out.
Right.
So then we also tail shaft housing, again, boring part, cleaned it in the parts washer, threw a new seal in, and
Rear bushing.
new bushing, put some grease on it, and it's pretty clean in there. We also
Yeah, it looks good.
cleaned these hard parts. Clean and greased, cleaned, and yeah,
Right.
most everything's clean and ready for reassembly.
Just
So
about.
so let's get at it.
Right on. Okay, so first thing we did was we put the rear support, and ours was our original one was actually damaged, so I ordered a new used one or whatever, and this is in a lot better condition. It takes 4 bolts, and these are torqued to 150 inch pounds. So yeah, it's inch pounds, not foot pounds.
Right.
That's very important.
If you have a foot pound only, you can convert that into
Maybe
inch pounds.
that's like 14 pounds or something like that, I think. Whatever, but it's snug. You know, it's tight, but it's
Right.
not over. You're not overdoing it. So 150 inch pounds is not a lot. Is the point. And do it in a star pattern or crisscross pattern or whatever.
like a wheel.
Right, exactly. So, all right. The next step is this inner race for our rear sprag, or it's called the rear sprag, one-way clutch, a reaction clutch. Pick your name and stick with it, but we call it a one-way clutch, I think, or whatever. Some people call it a sprag or whatever. But this is the inner race for it, and I put a little grease on the back side of it, so that way it'll stick into place. So instead of it, that way it won't fall out.
Right.
But we're gonna throw that in right now. That goes right there. See how it kind of sticks there? Nice, huh?
Very nice, Jay.
There you go. So we had some questions on what were all those parts that fell out, and that's all these parts here. There are 12 of these little bearings, and then 12 of these little springs. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw our bearings in the pockets of the retainer. So they'll go in here. We'll show you that. So as we throw it together, and then the springs, you just pinch the springs and then put them into place. But so anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So
Yeah.
all right.
One more thing is, for Mopars in the park, we scored this deep pan, and I cleaned it out. It's baffled, and it's got a plug there for oil pressure, or not oil pressure, but training fluid pressure.
Temp gauge.
Or temp. But look how massive this thing looks.
Yeah, it's a big one. And that comes with a corresponding pickup that
She's a big one, ain't she?
Yeah, that's a big one.
So the D200's going to have all the fluid, people. All right. We'll get back to what Jay's doing here, and I'll stop BSing on the camera.
All right, so here's your 12 roller bearings. They go in the big pocket area, and we'll continue with it. We're almost done. Okay, now you got your little springs here. Okay, now then you wanna pinch them. Okay, you want to make sure your springs they're not collapsed. Okay, so they should look like this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and we'll start assembling these. What we want to do is we want to push that roller to the short side or the small side, and then stick your spring in there like that. So the rest of these should look like that. So this one actually needs to go up there, but I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver so I can, or a pick or something. Boom.
All right, do it 10 more times, Jay.
All right. So yeah, again,
I'm not saying nothing, dude.
I heard something come out of your nose, like it was a nasal kind of like laugh.
Kind of like a booger flap going.
Oh, of course.
Like the couch at home.
Yeah, the couch at home.
I'm pulling for you, Jay.
All right, buddy.
Because I've done this and it's not fun.
You were gonna say something. I've been waiting.
Was I? Oh, you were waiting for that?
But then Jersey had to nasal over
I
there.
just got here, man.
He nasal laughed. Laughed with the snage.
It's a big laugh.
So this is just kind of interesting how this works. All right, so it's a one-way clutch. It only goes this way, but I can't move it back this way. I can just move it this way. That's how that works. But then I would try to move it back, you know, counterclockwise. I can't do it.
It is physically impossible, people.
To unrotate your sprag.
Right. Or your reaction clutch, or one-way clutch, or
Rear annulus?
no, I don't think that's even a thing, is it? You just made that up.
I thought it was a thing. That's why we always used it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that looks.
Good job,
Get
Jay.
it right in there. Get it right in there. Really, I mean, get it way in there.
All of it.
You bet. All right, so we're back at it. Okay, so anyway, if you're doing one of these, you're going to want to get, like, say, a factory service manual. I've got this one. And it lists all the specs. Okay, so we're redoing the pump. Anyway, there's actually a spec for the pump body to the pump gears, okay? So anyway, what I did was, so I had a 6-inch machinist rule, okay, and I cut an inch off of it because it needs to fit in this area here. So anyway, there's a spec here in between the, like I said, the pump body and the gears, okay. There's actually a spec between these two tips here, okay. And I checked this; it falls within range. There's actually a spec in here also, okay. So anyway, get your feeler gauges, check all that stuff out, make sure it's good to go. Let's see, as far as reaction shaft support, the bushings are in good, nice condition. Anyway, if yours are bad, you're gonna have to actually take this to a transmission shop and have them pull this out, because it takes a special tool for it. But these are actually good, so we check those out. This thrust washer here is kind of a selectable, or I don't know. There's a selection of them, I guess, if you need to adjust your end play. So we actually measured the end play, and while I can't remember what it was within spec. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave this thrust washer in place. Okay, we'll put new rings on the outside of it, and then I'll go ahead and probably button this pump up. If you don't have like a hippie bird bath bowl or something like that, just use a dog watering dish and get that ready to go, because we're gonna soak all our clutches in transmission fluid. So we'll have these soaking while we continue with the rest of the. Yeah, have a clean work area too for doing this. would really be nice. But anyway, so we're gonna let our clutches soak. We'll try to get the band kind of in there too and get it kind of wet. So we'll let this stuff soak. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back together. The reaction support bolts to the pump, they're actually torqued to a spec of 160 inch-pounds. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go ahead and button this thing back up. So, and I don't know if I explained it before, but the bushing, this bushing here, I don't know if I have the old one, but the old one wasn't actually staked into place. You actually need to take a punch and kind of dink it into these little recessed areas here, okay, so that bushing stays in place. The previous owner of this, I guess, probably rebuilt it, and that wasn't actually bushed into place, and the bushing can actually walk in this bore, I guess, if you don't have it staked. So anyway, a little detail to keep track of. We're actually using Alto Red Eagle clutches in this build, which may be a little excessive for this. They're high performance clutch discs. Like I said before, this is just going into an old pickup truck behind a 440. So maybe a little extreme, but that's what we got. So that's what we're going to use. Anyway, we'll catch you in a couple minutes when I get this put back together, and we'll continue on to cleaning other parts, and then we'll show you the reassembly of those parts. All right, something else I wanted to kind of show real quick as far as this pump goes, but so when you throw the pump gears back in place, I mean, they can go, you know, just about any old way like this or whatever, but you want to kind of get it centered in there nice, you know, so that they're centered. And the reason for that is your converter, see how it's way offset one way or the other, but if you get it kind of centered, that'll help when you go to slam the torque converter in this thing. So all right, that's what we're doing. I've got our front clutch set up in our press, all right, and like I mentioned earlier, you can get away with a couple of C-clamps maybe, and all you're trying to do is you're trying to press this retainer down. So you see how that is. Then you're going to want to get that dig that that snap ring out of there. So this is our press here. I made this back in the 80s, and I never did finish it. There should have been kind of a ratcheting locking mechanism right in here, but I never did get that far. So I've got a piece of strap here, and I can stick my foot in the bottom of it, and that gives me my hands to work with in that way. So it should work out pretty good. So here's another picture of another tool in Tom Hand's book. Anyway, like I said, you can go at it with a piece of steel plate across here, drill a hole in the middle of it, maybe get a couple of uprights or whatever, just nut and bolt something together, and then a piece of all thread going through it, and then tighten it up and then release the pressure off of this snap ring here. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get this set up, and I'll show you how we dig it out. All right. Safety glass is a good idea. A lot of spring tension here. There you go. You might want to kind of watch it so that the retainer doesn't get caught in this lip over here before you go ahead and release pressure on your press device or whatever. But there we have it. So let's see, there's a retainer. You want to make sure your retainer is nice and flat, okay, and it hasn't distorted from heat or whatever. This appears to be in good condition, right? This has 5 springs in it. That's what it came with. So just take note of the position. Looks like just a regular, 5-pointed position in this case. Here's a bushing here, and our our kit has one. You want to take note of the position of the bushing and then drive it, you know, a like amount into the bore. This is the piston here. Just kind of rock it back and forth a little bit and try to bring it up. There it comes. So you have a lip seal right here. This will be replaced with the one out of the kit. You have a lip seal in here too, okay? Take note of the position of it because it's important that it goes back in correctly. All right. You want to make sure that the lip seal surface is not burred or anything. Otherwise, it'll tear up your lip seal right away. So this feels pretty good. All right. Same holds true for this inner area where that seal rides against. You want to make sure that there's no burrs on this. Okay. If there is a little Scotch-Brite or whatever, it'll smooth it out. So, all right. So anyway, I'm going to clean these parts up, and then we'll come back and reassemble. I want you to just shut the hell up, all right? That's what I want you to
explain some things.
Like what?
Nothing.
No.
I weighed this car the other day.
What would it weigh?
2,500 pounds.
Really? That's pretty good. That's pretty light.
With no motor or tranny.
Right. How you doing, buddy? All right.
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. So anyway, okay, as usual, ordered the wrong parts, I guess. So shut up.
9-inch brakes.
Yeah, right. So anyway, we ordered everything. We just, I assumed that this was a 73 transmission, all right? Okay, so here's what you do. There's this little pad right here. It's got numbers on it. Anyway, you write those numbers down. Then you go up on My Mopar, I think it is. Let me look. There's like one spot on the internet. It's called mymopar.com/downloads/ /transguide.pdf. So anyway, Blake put a link to that in the description.
Okay.
So anyway, so I ran those numbers that we got off of this transmission, and it actually is a 1969 383 Dodge D100 200 300 transmission.
Okay.
So anyway, that explains this issue that we're having right now. So for the most part, I think all of our stuff is probably going to work in this. Okay, with the exception of some, they, you know, over the years, Torque Flights, they upgraded something, you know, almost every year. Okay, so right now we're having an issue with this, and that's this bushing here. Okay, so this is 69 bushing. It's considered the narrow bushing, and then they decided to upgrade the bushing with, and I believe this bushing probably corresponds with like a 73 or 72 drum. So 62 on up to 71, I believe, is the narrow bushing, I think, and then 72 is this wider bushing. So this bushing, I just can't drop it into this one here. I'd have to have the whole drum and the corresponding parts, maybe even the reaction shaft would have to be, or the reaction support would have to be different too, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. But anyway.
What year was the tranny and the CUDA?
It was 83.
Oh.
So yeah,
Yes.
Right,
if we had that, it'd be that.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, this bushing, it doesn't look bad, I guess. And the reason why they upgraded this was because they did it in conjunction with the end play, and the end play used to be really considerable. I mean, it was almost like a quarter of an inch maybe, or I don't know if it was that much, but anyway, the end play was actually the issue. The bushing, from what I gather, is not really the issue. So as long as we keep an eye on our end play and make sure that it's, I'll have to look the tolerances up on it again, it should be okay with that. I tried to look that up. I tried to look this up on Rock Auto, sold out. So I can't get this bushing.
Should I look in the parts just because?
We can, but for the most part, it's all going to be 904 stuff, and you know, we ordered a kit for that 83 Torque Flight. Maybe, I don't know. If you want to, knock yourself up.
Okay. Not what? I heard that. Knock myself up.
So anyway, this bushing, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks all right. So I think we're just going to go ahead and kind of go with it. If we end up with an issue, we'll know that's part of the problem. So in the meantime, I'll try to order this part and then get it slammed in. But so anyway, there's where we're at. So all right, we'll get back with you. All right.
That's supposed to be there, you know, like one of the furnaces is fucking boiling. They're fucking just hosing the shit down out of it.
That's good fire. What the hell?
All right, we're back. So replace the lip seals on this piston, and there's one that's actually on the retainer itself, and that's what these look like here. Okay, so make sure you keep track of how the lip seal was in place, because it makes a difference. And I believe the lip is kind of pointed downward on both of these, I guess, you know. So, and it does require a little finesse. You can kind of rock this back and forth and then gently push down on it. It takes a little finesse. I mean, you got to just kind of keep working at it. And there's kind of a beveled edge on that the bore. So you're trying to line the seal up with that, and you just keep working it. And eventually it will just start to go down. It'll go down, so it'll go down into the bore. Okay, so something else to keep in mind is both these clutch retainers will have they have a check ball, so you want to make sure that that check ball is loose. You know, hit it with some carb cleaner or whatever it takes to make sure that it's free. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I've got my springs in place now. This particular one has 5 springs. Others will have 10 or 12 or whatever, just, you know, whatever it is, it is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw the retainer on this with the snap ring on top of it. So, all right, I'll get set up for that, and we'll show you how we do that. So there we go. Loop this into your foot like this. Oh, no. Now, when I built this at Bituma. So that was back in the late 80s or what have you. And Mitch built one, but it had a ratcheting area here, so it'd lock into place. Pretty cool. Mine didn't have that, so I've got this. So there you have it. Done deal. All right, so we're gonna load the clutches into it, and we'll get set up for that, and I'll show you that. Oh no.
Yeah, it doesn't still up there.
No. All right, so the L-toe kit that I purchased, the steels are actually treated, or they're coated, but they're black instead of what the hell ever. Instead of, you know, it's the steel color. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and throw this front clutch together. And you start out with one. You start out with a steel first, then you alternate with a clutch disc. Okay, so let me just get this set up here. What the hell ever. So, and a clutch, and a steel. And a clutch. So this one will just have four clutches up front. All right, and then our pressure plate, the side that was used previously, it's just got some kind of some heat spots on it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and use a backside and place it on the working surface of the clutches, I guess, instead of this bad side here. So yeah. So there we go. And it just takes, a snap ring goes in pretty easy. And there we have it. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to want to check clearances here. So there's a spec to that. So I'm going to look it up, and then I'll get back with you. I'll get back with you on that. All right. All right, so you're going to want to make sure that these lip seals on the rear clutch retainer piston are facing downward, okay? So so this one goes inside, and it needs to be facing downward also. So we'll go ahead and throw that in there. And yeah, just kind of work it, you know. Take your time. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting her. Getting it. Yeah, there it is. All right. So there we have it. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and we'll lube this up with some trans fluid, or if you had some Vaseline, that might work pretty good. Kind of compress the outer seal, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw it inside of the rear clutch retainer. Okay, so it'll go in here like this. So you're working against both those downward facing lips. So like I said, just take it easy, rock it back and forth as you work it into place, and eventually, you know, with some persistence, it'll just kind of suck down in. Well, you'll feel it go down in, but you'll know it's positive. So, all right. Okay, so one other thing I needed to mention was there's inside both pistons, there's a little check ball. See that check ball there? You need to make sure you can hear it rattling. Okay, so I've already verified that with the front one. Just wanted to show you that on the rear one. So sometimes they can just get gummed up, but I hit it with carb cleaner and compressed air, and I could clearly see that it was moving. So, all right, so now we'll just go and yeah, struggle with this. Oh, there we go. There we go. She's going. She's going. Yeah, there we go. Just got to be persistent with it, and just got to be gentle with it too. You can kind of got it. Yeah, got it. So, but you can, you know, if you got, like, I don't know, we use this little plastic tool here, and you can kind of feel it going in, and you can actually kind of feel it binding too. So you don't want it to bind at all.
Right.
So then pull it out, and then just kind of tap it in place or whatever. And
Tappy.
and there we go. So anyway, yeah, she's back in. So good deal. Alrighty. All right, here's how we got it rigged up in the vise. Okay, so you just need to spread the jaws apart far enough so that the retainer is actually resting on the jaws of the vise, and the rest of it can just drop down inside of it. Then it just kind of hangs there. Then you've got your spring that goes against it. It's not under any tension at all. So it's just kind of in there. Then you throw this, oh, what the hell is it? Spacer. There's a spacer ring here. Okay, that goes in next. Then your wave spring. Okay. Next will be, what's next, Jeremy?
Steels and clutches.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll get
those
that.
are soaking
Yes.
in
cider.
In cider. You got them in the apple juice?
You bet.
Oh, no. It looks good, Jay.
Okay. All right.
I'm just kind of disappointed you have to use the book after all these years.
What are you talking about? All right, we're going to slam the clutches in this rear clutch retainer. So I would just start with the rear. I call it the rear pressure plate, or the bottom pressure plate, but it's shaped like this. So that goes right in. Then we'll then we'll install clutches, and then alternate with steels. All right. So there's that one there. And steel. Oh my God! Okay.
Did you start with the right one?
You be quiet. You just be quiet. Stop laughing. And a clutch. And a steel. Hey. Then a clutch. And you should end up with your top pressure plate. All right. This one doesn't look too bad. I'll put it in like this. I want to count how many clutches were in this rear. All right, and then you grab your big snap ring. You just kind of, work it into place. It's not too bad. There we go. Do it with your fingers. All right, so I'm gonna look up the spec for this and go ahead and get a measurement. All right, and then we'll be back. We will be back.
So it goes there.
There.
A bigger screwdriver, and you get it.
You got it.
You got it.
Yep. And it's that easy.
Just that easy.
Basically falls right in.
Pretty much so.
Being facetious. It's kind of a biatch.
Yeah.
So take your time. You'll get it.
I kind of clocked it over and it,
Okay, sure.
and then lifted up and it latched in there. So
Right on.
I'd say put a few turns on it,
Yeah.
just to kind of,
Right on.
because it's got to go. It's got to get centered yet.
Right.
And that'll happen
Yeah,
at the next step.
Actually, that really did like fall in once it was there.
All lined up.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Okay, inserting the rear annulus onto the output shaft and into the rear clutch drum. There we go. And we greased up that rear that thrust washer. So anyway, there, stuck into place. All right,
Yep.
there we go.
On to the next beer that we're having.
While rebuilding a transmission, which you should never do.
You've told me that like 4 times.
Never a good idea.
And I did my transmission 12 times.
How many times have we said, don't drink when rebuilding transmission?
Oh
Pineapple.
my God, Jay bitched at me all the time, and I did my transmission like a measly 12 times.
Right. I've been a lot.
All right. All right. All right. Here we go.
So
All right, and inserting this into the rear annulus. Annulus? I don't know. It sounds kind of funny. There we go.
Boom.
It should sit almost flush. All right. So there you have it.
Nice.
beautiful.
Thank you. Just throwing some grease on it so it sticks. Because you're kind of putting everything in a horizontal fashion. You know. I don't like that. Don't. What are you doing?
There you go. You're almost there. You're home.
Oh, nice, huh? Still, yeah.
Good deal.
There we go. I'm gonna look at it again. Okay, I like it. Yep. Shut up. All right. All right. Okay, so we put a little bit of lube on these, a little bit of lube on the thrust washers, and the surface here. Anyway, you stop your laughing. You hit me.
No, I'm laughing at it.
Oh.
Ryan.
Car Chronicles. Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
so take a look at how this works now. This is kind of neat. So when it spins this way, look at the what do you call that? The ratio. This is spinning faster than this almost. Okay, then this here, when you spin it backwards, look at this. The tail shaft spins, but when you spin it this way, it doesn't spin.
As it should.
Kind of
Sherman's
neat, huh?
over there laughing. Ryan Wing from Streetcar Chronicles.
Dude,
Excellent.
subscribe, dude. Subscribe.
Subscribe
this
to
guy.
what?
Streetcar Chronicles.
Streetcar Chronicles. Subscribe to this guy.
If you laugh at all watching us, you're gonna laugh.
He's not very handsome, but I tell you what, his car's pretty cool.
We almost look alike. No, we don't.
All right, another thrust washer going in. All right, this goes in the sun shell, I guess you call it. And I kind of looped it up so it sticks into place because, like I said, you know, this thing is kind of laying like horizontal,
Right.
so we don't want parts falling out.
It can only go in one way.
Some of them are, some of the thrust washers in the kit will be four. They'll have 4 tangs. You know, our particular kit has 3 tangs. So, yeah. Keep track of your tangs. All right, our front planetary is going into is it the front annulus? Is that what you call it, Jerry?
I don't call it Jerry.
It looks like a cam
Shut
gear
up.
from a Neon.
Anyway, so you put these two assemblies together. You get a little grease on that thrust washer that's inside here also. So we're going to take the whole assembly and then stab it in here. There we go.
There it
Nice
goes.
engagement
She
with
went.
Jabo.
All right, so
Now we got to put our little.
snap ring goes right here. So you want to make sure that you've got clearance for the snap ring right here. All right.
And it
So-
looks to be there's plenty of snap ring
Clarence.
Right on. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
one and done. Shut up, shut up. I mean, there we go. Yeah. That looks.
That's not seated.
It's not on there at all.
Can you push on the output shaft a little bit there, bud? There we go. Tink. Wait a minute.
There, Yahtzee.
There we go. So now none of that's coming apart. So now we're gonna put both the clutch retainers together. All right. So I think maybe I'll throw a dab on this too. Okay, we got some new snap rings on here. You want to make sure they're 180 degrees, you know, apart.
Away from
Okay.
each other.
We're gonna rock these on, or just kind of twist them back and forth until they're seated. And that's it. So they're together. All right. And we're gonna take the whole assembly and drop it in, and we're gonna continue with the twisting motion, nice and gently, because I mean these are made out of steel, but you don't want to bend. I mean they're thin enough. I mean if you just dump it in there, you could bend it too.
You'll bend all the little fingers on
Right,
them.
you don't want to do that, so
You want to put it in there straight too, Jim.
Right.
shut your mouth. I mean it. Oh no.
This will be easier.
You want me to do it?
Do it vertically. Do you want us to hold it more vertical for you?
Shut up. Shut the hell up right now. Okay.
Almost. There you go.
Wow, that was pretty slick.
It was a little easier, wasn't it?
That was way easier.
Yeah, she dumped right in there. Okay, so
Lay it back on its where you want to put that band in.
well, what did you want to do, Jeremy?
We got to put this servo in first.
What?
This front one. To put that in to hold the band in.
Yeah. I mean, we can do that. I mean, we can. Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, because you want the band in before you put the pump in.
All right.
'Cause it
let's
helps.
let's just throw this front servo together then, okay?
Yeah. Because
Just
all
the
We're,
way
we're
it is
gonna
right now.
unskip a step that we just skipped.
right, let's do it.
You don't do them every day, people,
You want it back on its.
unless you're Jeremy.
Yeah,
See, we still got this is soaking on the parts washer, right?
yeah.
So it needs to be cleaned up.
You want that flipped back where it was?
This?
Yeah.
No, let's just leave it like this.
Okay.
Hello there guys, we got today's episode. We finally tackled the rot. Hopefully I don't find any more bones. So today we're going to start moving all the rot in this truck.
No, it's gonna be a
probably
fucker.
taking a long while.
Bell spring.
So I plan on cutting
Yeah,
down
that's
Take a
what we
break
do
and watch
first,
this.
Yeah.
because I've never done this amount of floor pan work in a car or truck before.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
Some rust repair.
Oh
This
no.
won't necessarily be a cow.
All right, a bunch of hands were in the way, but she's installed. Now Jabo has the band.
Yeah, we pre-soaked it in some Type F transmission fluid.
Type F BTP's
You bet.
choice.
So this is a flex band, and it would be, I guess, for a performance build, a cast band would be preferred. They're probably entry level, 150, 140 bucks for a cast band. This one here just comes with a kit, okay? So I don't know if I mentioned that before, but the kit was, it was about 200 and, what was it, Blake?
240 something?
Yeah, 240 with shipping and everything, so. Really? Okay, there we go.
Right there. I'm almost touching it. It's like I can feel it.
Keep backing it off there, dude.
No, put it in. Quit
Your
turning
mouth.
it the other way.
You be quiet.
Good
Damn it.
Lord. Oh, I can't no more. Oh.
Okay, now we got that front band kind of in place. It'll kind of hold everything, so now the guts won't fall out of it. Actually, we can go ahead and probably throw the front pump on right now, even like this.
So anybody can make this tool at home with some all rod or some long bolts. It's 3/8 thread. It helps you line up your pump for
bet.
easy assembly.
Yeah, and they actually should be rounded kind of on the top. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice touch, but whatever, beggars can't be choosers. So anyway, make sure that your O-ring, this pump has been previously rebuilt. So our pump bolts were torqued to, I believe, 150, what, right? 150 inch-pounds or 160, I can't remember. Anyway, that's important.
155.
Throw a little grease around your sealing rings. Make sure your sealing rings are clocked 180 degrees apart from each other from where the end gaps are at. All right? No, just something you do on everything. So you want to take a look at, you got these two slots up here. You want to make sure they correspond with these two slots in the case itself. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just lower it into place. Just lower it into place. Boy, it would help if them,
Don't.
if they were rounded off.
They're rounded.
No. Oh my God. And it just drops right into place. Go ahead.
basically
Thump on it.
Whoa. Can we put one on one side and just crank it down?
No. Maybe.
Jeez,
I don't know.
Jeremy.
I'm sorry. But it's like common sense ain't common. Snap-on makes a
Jacket
Chrysler.
that you can.
Yeah, Snap-on makes a Chrysler transmission pump installer hammer. It's got a weird angle to it.
Yeah.
It's $400.
Are you crazy? Are you kidding me?
I'm crazy, but I'm not kidding you.
Okay, so
This
next
was $7 at Harbor Freight. Done. You hear that sound? That tone difference?
Yeah.
It means it's in there.
All right. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna install our pump bolts. The kit comes with some little, they're like rubber coated steel washers. We're also gonna dab a little bit of RTV on the threads and around the washers themselves. Okay, so you're 100% sealed then. Okay, and as far as the pump goes. So there we go. Let's do that. Okay, we'll be back.
He'll be back.
We'll be back. Cataract jack, quick pack tack.
Another pro tip is never
Going out
consume
first,
alcohol beverages while rebuilding a transmission.
Right.
If you notice, Jay isn't drinking.
Yeah, and we're not rebuilding. Bazinga!
Burn! All right, tail shaft housing is on.
Right on.
It just fell right on.
So the pump we already tapped into place. There is kind of a beveled area here, and you should actually see that when you get the pump fully seated. All right. You see that right here?
Yes.
Okay, so we're all square to the world. Pump bolts actually get torqued to 175 inch pounds.
Yes.
In inch pounds, that's important, okay? So, and then in a start crisscross pattern, like you do a wheel or a tire or whatever. So, and then go make sure everything's done or everything's torqued correctly. But anyway, that looks good.
Yep.
All right. You can actually wiggle the input shaft somewhat to kind of seat everything to kind of help you get this seated. All right. So anyway, tail shaft. Then I don't recall what the torque spec is on this yet, but we put the gasket in place, and then you need this. Yeah, if you have these type of snap ring pliers,
They're handy.
yeah, they're kind of knurled on the ends, but they really aid in grabbing that big snap ring there.
Two screwdrivers is terrible.
And then make sure that it's totally seated. And to kind of aid in that, I kind of banged on the input shaft a little bit. Okay, banged on it, and then it snapped right into place. You want to hear a nice, good, positive snap. So anyway, that looks good just like that. So there we go. So there we kind of have it. So what we have left is the accumulator needs to go in place. Yeah, that's not a big deal. It's right over there, bud. And then we're gonna go on to the valve body. The valve body is say like the 7th assembly. We've been kind of preaching that there's like 7 sub assemblies inside the transmission. It's maybe a couple more than that, but basically it is. The valve body will be the 7th. In our case, we're going to go with a TF2 modified valve body. So, and that's over here.
Which is already...
It's already been...
This is out of Jeremy's Mordor crew cab triple pickle.
Right. But if you're not going to do that, you're going to want to disassemble that. And we may disassemble this one here yet and make sure everything... Yeah, make sure it's clean and make sure that the valves slide back and forth clear... Or
Crisply.
No. Freely. Easily. Anyway, whatever. So anyway, we're going to do that next. Okay? So I don't know if you want to do that separate or what do you want to do? I mean, I'm not going to do it right now, but...
Right.
So... But that's the last piece of this puzzle. So
basically all the rebuilding is done.
Right. So
all new seals, clutches, shims.
Yeah, thrust washers. Yeah.
And we did it in a 1-car garage.
Right, with just regular hand tools. So, like I said before, by no means are we transmission rebuild experts, but we can follow instructions, and especially if the instructions are this good. I mean, this has really helped out a lot. And like I said before, we've rebuilt several transmissions, but I always refer to a book of some sort, and in this case, this has been really this book by Tom.
And year to year, there's subtle little differences.
Exactly,
like what we came to find.
Right.
Different cut teeth on this.
Well, I don't know about that though, bud. That's just something weird. I looked it up, and that's actually 60. That should cover 62 to 82 or something like that. Yeah, there shouldn't have been a difference.
You think it'd go 62 to like 67 because of that spline count difference?
No.
There's not a converter side because
on the input shaft.
Right. There's
right.
internal parts that are slightly different, 67 and earlier
on the input shaft.
So that makes sense.
Those we actually counted those splines on that, and they were gear teeth or whatever, and they were the same.
They're just like 1,000 off.
All right.
So really close.
Anyway,
but
I guess I would even mention any of this just to not confuse people. So, all right.
Already did.
No, but go ahead and.
So we bought this, didn't use it. Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, she's back together for the big block.
For the most part.
Yep. Finish up a couple little boring things that you don't really need to see. And
yeah, we could
probably do like the TF2 video short one after this on showing how the valve body comes apart and what we installed that goes with the kit.
Right.
So it should be a short.
So basically all we got left to do is a valve body, that accumulator,
pan,
and speedometer.
I gotta crawl underneath the truck and get that.
Right. So anyway. Yeah. So there you go.
Good, bad, ugly.
Right on.
Down in the comments, let us know if this helped you at all. If it didn't help you at all,
Yeah. Hopefully you weren't too disappointed
Right.
in the whole thing. All right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Stu, there's beer.
I want beer right now.
Right now?
No.
Go ahead and go get
We're
some.
doing some serious granny stuff here.
All right, so Jade just packed the front clutches. We installed.
You're gonna have to find that clip.
I'm gonna have to go through 3 SD cards to put this one video together.
I'm sorry, Blake. I should have done better.
Brass
I let you down.
shim
Yep. All right.
has been installed.
It's there, guys.
Next,
Brains of the operation. Yeah, next. What is next, Jay?
sun gear bell.
Let's see. I wouldn't show me actually reading the book. Okay. Because that's not cool. Hey, we'll put this on as the blooper reel at the end of it.
Blooper reel.
Yeah. Don't show me looking at the book. I'm the brains of the operation.
Don't you think so? It's a reflection on all of us. Okay.
It's a reflection.
Is that a compliment that we
I think
actually
so,
have
yeah.
brains?
Right. Well, yeah.
We can.
All
think.
of us have the brains.
Yeah. So the next step would. Oh man, I pulled your.
Yeah, stop it.
I was trying to.
My rear annulus thrust washer out. Damn it. Damn it, Blake. Stop helping so much.
It's not good.
All right, here we go. Throwing that in place.
Right. So install that again.
I did. Right.
And now the bell or
Sun.
/ sun gear.
Sun shell or whatever.
The Jizza Ghost Face Killer.
That's enough.
Jay, don't listen to the hip hop.
No. Neither should you. There we go. It's in place. Whatever.
So part 1 was goofing around. Part 2 was serious. Now we're back to part 1 all over again on part 3.
You'd be cutting a lot of this out, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
Now you're gonna do the clutches and steels.
I'm not really sure. I don't know what I feel like. Maybe I'll put the tail shaft on it. Or the tail housing on it. Maybe. I don't know. I'll let you know.
Okay. None, yeah.
There we go. Good.
All right.
It is in there like swimwear.
Ooh.
Off like a prom dress to our next installment.
I like that. Whatever. I'm not going to comment.